month ago. And then one day I was having kind of a rough time with my own work, and my mind went to Melinda and thinking about someone who's just plowing through obstacles and not letting anything stop her, which is all to say that I find Melinda inspiring, and I think about her in those terms. I'm very proud of her. I think she's got an amazingly bright future, and I'm glad to call her friend. Please help me in celebrating Melinda Rankin.
Comedic relief.
Very functional headwear.
They would work better as frisbees.
Good job.
Gail Brandeis to introduce her student, Victoria Scott.
I'm going to miss your face so much, Vicki. It's just been such a pleasure to get to know you over these last couple of years and to see your beautiful smile. And I love that Vicki has been working with the same characters in her fiction since she was a teenager. She's been following the lives of these two young women who are sisters in a fantasy realm, but friends in the earthly realm. And I was thinking about how writing is kind of like living in two realms. We live in our everyday world, and then we dive into the work, whether it's fantasy or not. And so in some ways, it's almost like you're living a triple consciousness, because you're in the world and on the page and in this other world within that world as well. And I just love that these characters have grown with you as you've grown, and that you'll continue to work with them. And I can't wait to see where you'll take them and where they'll take you. Congratulations, Vicki.
Our next introduction is from our faculty member, Patricia, and she could not be here, so she recorded her introduction for her student, Laura Secord.
Pleasure to introduce an SNC graduate in poetry who has already made her formidable mark on the world, Laura Secord, aka Mojo Mama. Blues legend Muddy Waters growled that classic line, "Got my mojo working, but it sure don't work on you." What is a mojo, really? The word can mean a charm or spell, but the more common meaning of mojo is sex appeal or talent. Sex appeal, well hello there Mojo Mama. Talent, well hello there Mojo Mama. Here, I'll use mojo in a few sentences. With a little bit of the old mojo, I can snag any gal I want. That fine man sure got my mojo working. I've been lonely so long, I think I've lost my mojo. Ladies and gentlemen, I hate to break this to you, but we are about to lose our mojo. In my time working, arguing, challenging, and being challenged by Laura Secord, I've happily succumbed to her magic. I've signed on for the brash unpredictability of working with a woman who has fiercely lived several lives and came to us ready to shout to the world about them all. Well, almost all. Laura, the giver, the nurturer, the unselfish mama to so many, had never turned the light upon herself. So we spent our time peeling away layers of armor, shattering the protection of metaphor, bringing Laura's considerable mojo out of hiding, until we discovered the woman you see here today. It's impossible to imagine her as ever being anything other than what she is now. A poet of expansive wisdoms, a world wrangler, conveyor of mesmerizing tales and irresistible stanzas, a woman who, without reservation, speaks out loud her incredible life, a life many of us won't even come close to living. I am exquisitely proud to introduce to you my student, my colleague, and my friend, the kick-ass belle of Birmingham, Laura Secord.
I'm hugging Patricia, but she's not here.
Please welcome Gail Marie Palmier for her student Suzanne Simons.
Suzanne, one of the things we talked about regularly when we worked together a couple of years ago is say it plain and say it in as few words as possible. And I've got some notes here to help me do that, because if I didn't, we'd be here till 9 p.m. tonight. I have a lot to say about this amazing woman and this amazing writer, but I'm going to say it plain in as few words as possible. Suzanne Simons makes music out of the beautiful and the dangerous. She has an incredible eye for the salient detail because she lives her life as a sentient human being. She writes with a sense of mystery and acute mastery. Suzanne has written that she believes the best poems open and touch the tender parts of our hearts. And she has certainly reminded me that I have a tender part of my heart. And I know she has touched and opened many hearts here. Thoreau wrote that to affect the quality of the day is the highest ambition of the arts. And I'm sure I speak for everyone who knows Suzanne Simons and her work, that we look forward to its effect on our remaining days. It is a great honor and privilege to be here today for this significant accomplishment. Congratulations, Suzanne, friend and colleague.
Finally, let's say hello to Gail again to introduce her student, Will.
I became a huge fan of Will's work even before I met him. All my workshop students had to send in some work for us to workshop before my first residency here. And I was impressed by the work of the group, but there was one story in particular that just got under my skin. It was a story about religion and desire and obsession, and at the end, the main character drinks a vial of a woman's blood who he's in love with. And I just thought, who is this guy? I want to read more. And then as I've read more of his work, I just get my socks knocked off again and again. Will writes with so much wit and so much witty observation. He's a great cultural observer. If any of you were at his reading last night, you can see how he beautifully addresses the issues of the day. He weaves social issues and politics into his work in a seamless way that just will wake people up. I think that's what his work is going to do, and has done already, is wake people up. Will is already very accomplished. He has a chapbook, bottom of the ninth, go Cubs. Another thing I love is his work is set in Chicago, which is my hometown. And he has a short story collection coming out later this year, I believe, which I can't wait to read. Will has published far and wide and has been honored with a notable Best American Essay honor, as well as others. I think he's going to be an important voice in our cultural landscape, and I can't wait to see what he does next. Congratulations, Will.
Alongside your colleague Melinda, would the graduates please rise? In the temporary absence of our fearless leader, Brian Turner, it is my duty, my privilege, and my joy to present to you all the 2016 Sierra Nevada College Masters in Fine Arts and Creative Writing graduating class.